Hello, true art believers, and welcome. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I am the number one live art streamer in the world. This is Pierson here. This is Pierson, and welcome. Today is day 148 of 200 days of drawing, and I got another piping hot cactus for you. Another piping hot cactus drawing for you. My goodness, I gotta shave. I gotta shave this all off. I'm looking like I haven't shaved for a while. Anyways, before I begin, now before I begin my drawing, don't forget to subscribe for more. Where I have daily live streams and roughly and I'm not 1 to 4 artist interviews a month, depending on how I can schedule them. So I typically do that every Thursday or Saturday, depending on the availability of the artist that I do talk to, and have a deep philosophical conversation about life and art. Anyways, let's get this drawing started, and let's cue the intro. I hope you're having a wonderful day today, true art believers. I'm going to do something. I'm going to bring this little camera down like this, and just like before, I'm going to move it just outside of the frame so that it's not in my actual, it's not covering my screen. So I'm going to have like a unique distortion level with this time lapse. I got to do some adjusting here with this camera here. It's like on the screen here. It's like right below the frame here. Anyhow, I hope you're doing wonderful. So today is a new day. It's a beautiful day, and I hope you're having a wonderful day as well. And here we begin today's drawing. So let's see here. I was working predominantly with blue yesterday, and today I'm going to be using a grayish teal, and then I'm going to have a grayish, I'm going to have like a tealish background later on. So something like that, and I'm going to have a more vibrant teal color after that. So something like this. I'll have like a vibrant teal background as well. So two similar colors juxtaposed on top of each other. So this is what I've been thinking about doing as of lately with regards to my drawing strategy. I've been thinking about like making like random shapes into cactuses. So like this one, I've been thinking like maybe I just do something like really simple. I'm just gonna go like, that's too much. We're just gonna go like, we're just gonna do something like this, and then maybe no, actually that's all bad. Let's just do something. I'm gonna close my eyes and just kind of, no, we're not gonna do that. Okay, that idea flopped real bad. All right, let's do it again. Something like this. Can we do this turn this into a cactus? Or maybe if I do something like this where I just kind of do something like this. Could I turn that into a cactus? We're going to do that. We're going to turn this into a cactus. We're going to turn this silly thing into a cactus. This is a horrible start. This is a horrible start. We're going to do this as a cactus here. We're just going to go with it. Why not? We're going to see how this pans out. This is an idea I had like kind of pop up when I was drawing. Like, why don't I just like do these like really like generic shapes and see if I can convert it into a kind of like a cactus of sorts. And so like this is gonna look like like a claw. It looks like more like a rake to me. And we're gonna see how we can make this work. We're gonna push this a little bit. We're gonna see how we can make it work. and we're gonna make it work. Now, don't get this all wrong. This is not an indication of my drawing ability. I am solely being as loose and as naive looking as possible, because I think it's going to yield something quite interesting. And we're just going to go from there. We're going to do this really sloppy thing. What really matters is the value that I'm going to be putting onto the drawing. So this, even though it's kind of quite jarring, really, that this doesn't matter. This whole thing right here, this whole like shape here doesn't matter. None of it matters, because once you start putting the shading and the texture on there, that's where you get the brownie points. That's the bonus points right there. Though that's what matters. That's where you're going to get all of your productivity out of the drawing. Oh man. So here we go. And something like this. And we'll do that. So there's our background shape. That's our background shape they're going to be working with, like a teal. And we're going to be using a teal and red transition, I think. I'm going to use a complementary color of teal and red. And here we go. We're going to center this background. So this is a casual Saturday, just casually drawing. I have to kind of get this done. I'm going to try to get this done in under 30 minutes, as usual. We'll see. Hopefully, this strategy will yield a. It's probably going to yield a more loose result. So, like the looser I start these drawings, the more on the subconscious level, the looser I am on a subconscious level. So, like, if I start out with like this really jagged, really poorly drawn shape and form, I am more prone to being very loose with the execution than if I were to start out with a more sharp and crisp outcome or crisp forms. So there is some benefit to actually drawing like this, where you're forcing yourself to kind of be very loose and very uncoordinated. There you go. Do something like that. Get this out of the way. My contacts are incredibly jarring. I apologize, man. And this is what we kind of do. There, I do something like this. So I'm kind of making like a just doing something like this, just kind of making a less rounded shape here. Now we got to do the sand. My favorite, easiest thing to do. Let's kind of do something like this. And then we got to do erase the sand. Something like that. And I'm being very, yeah, that's fine. I'll keep it like that. That's great. I want it as really jagged and very, I want it to look bad is what I'm trying to get at. I don't want it to look good. We don't want good looking cactuses today. We want a very poorly drawn cactus. As a matter of fact, like the worse it is, I think the better. So, we're just going to use this as an outline. There we go. And I think there's something to be said about doing it this way, because it makes it, I think what it's going to do is it's going to make it feel more organic. And because it feels more organic, It's going to look a little bit more interesting than my previous ones because my other ones are a little bit more controlled. Like we're going to do a little bit, let's do something like this. Can I do something like this, like that, like here, right? And then there we go. There we go. There we go. And if you ever look at like cactuses, some of them have like they're like they have those weird nodes or nobules around them. So to some extent, that's probably a more realistic cactus than any of my previous cactuses I've drawn before. So now we're going to be doing a transitional tone of like bright red on the bottom here. Woo! That is bright. And then we're just going to do a soft round. And we're going to make a gradient from red to teal. Let's do that, you know. So this is what I've been doing lately. Just very simple. Like I've been moving around the color wheel, and I'll select a color that I didn't do the last time, and just kind of move around. And that way, I have a system that allows me not to overthink. Like that yields a similar outcome each time. So I'm not overthinking like the process of like, what colors do I do for my background, right? All I'm doing is basically the if I did teal today, I'm going to do a greenish background tomorrow, and then I'll do the complementary color of that, which will be like pink or purple, and I'll just keep doing that over and over again, and I'll swirl it around. And the same thing goes with the background. I think I might change the background template a little bit and just do like a standard neutral gray, you know, so I'm not having to guess with that anymore. So I'm always playing around with those methodologies, and that looks good. I like the fade. It feels like a sunrise, or like this cactus is coming out of the out of hot lava. It's coming out of hot lava. No. And here we go. Here's the good parts. We're getting to the nitty gritty here. We're at 13 minutes. We're at 13 minutes, fellas. Normally, I don't get to this point until about 15 minutes. So I'm doing really, really well. So there's some growth here. And that's because I've taken a little bit of I say that now and then all of a sudden. That's because I've taken a little bit of the thought process out, you know? It's only taken about I don't know, 50 almost 50 of these to really get this process almost automatic, you know, and I'm quite happy with that. It's like it's taken me forever to kind of like really get these things streamlined and making them kind of like very easy to recreate, because I've always often struggled with other things. Excuse me, I might sneeze actually. I hope you didn't hear that. So, yeah, it's taken me a while to really get this to get this drawing streamlined and actually be able to get faster, you know? So it's taken me a while. So I'm adding a little bit more gray in this pot here. Now we got to do the highlights. So I usually just take something like this and make a brighter version of it. Put it like there. Very simple process, you know. I'm not I'm not overthinking it, and also partially because I've done it so many times that you know I've gotten to it kind of down to a science. Even though this isn't my method, I've I've made it so that I can do the same process over and over again, and that's really what this was all about, is to be able to recreate this process over and over again. Now, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to do the I'm going to put some dark teal in the shadows here a little bit, and I'm going to put some bright reds in the foreground. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to do some reds here, maybe even add a little bit. And I've been playing around with this for a while now, is adding some of the background colors into the foreground element to make it feel a little bit, well, for one, to make it more colorful, but also to kind of to unify the piece a little bit. And this is what I'm going to do, as well as I'm going to imagine that there's a cast shadow. I haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to do it this time. Is I'm going to imagine that there's a cast shadow, and it's going to be somewhere around right here, and it's just going to be, you know, creating a cast shadow. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm imagining that there's a cast shadow here, and that's going to dictate how I'm going to do my sand a little bit. Do a little bit. Oopsie daisy. That should do it. So what I'm doing is I'm doing like a color mask or a layer mask kind of on these to kind of create. There you go. So now the shadow, that cast shadow line, makes a little bit more sense for those that are wondering. Yeah, so there's something like this. And I might even add a little bit of, I'm going to add a little bit of like dark blue. Something like that. Not even, I think that's kind of good. And then I might add a little bit of blue right here. Maybe since it's highlighted, maybe I'll add like a light blue. And then over here, I'll do like a dark blue. Something like that. It's playing around with colors this time. Just being a little bit more colorful with it. Okay, and I think that'll be good for that. Really quick, easy peasy. So I've as you can see, the process is quite streamlined, and also I might be firing on more cylinders today than I was yesterday, which isn't saying much because I'm never firing on all cylinders. If that's an engine reference. I was referring my brain capacity to an engine, and how sometimes, oopsie daisy. So now we're going to do the cactus here. Now, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm just going to kind of play it by ear. So I'm going to pretend we're going to do a color layer mask. We're going to do a soft, using a soft. We're just going to pretend like there's sunlight coming from this side. We're going to make these whole tops kind of lighter. I had more success by making them lighter doing this way, because I was assuming that since there's these like shadows on here, right? Since there's like a cast shadow, light source coming to the left side, usually I would assume that there's like a cast shadow happening. So I'm going to assume there's a cast shadow happening on here, you know, and I'm going to assume there's a cast shadow happening kind of like right here. And then same, maybe even like on this one is like all dark. I don't know. We'll play around with it. We'll see what happens. We're just going to see what happens, and we'll go from there, you know. I think I'm going to make this like really dark in the center. That's what I think I'm going to do. Make it kind of like darker, and then like really express certain highlights. So like maybe like this will be ultra bright. Maybe a little bit right here. There's a little highlight here, a little bit of like highlight here, but this is going to be ultra bright, and there's going to be like a specific like there you go, something like that, you know. So we're just gonna play around with it and see how it kind of pans out. And this isn't based on reality, so like you can fiddle around with it, and if it doesn't look realistic, I think that's okay too. I don't mind it. I mean, let's be honest. Like this isn't a realistic cactus. This is like I drew a random shape, and I'm expecting like miracles here. Come on, guys. Come on, fellas. Come on, man. Come on, man. What's that guy that there's this guy on TikTok that goes, "Come on, man. Come on, man." No, that's probably like a ton of YouTubers like phrase like little quotes that they use. Come on, man. So I'm just kind of like testing, using the eyedrop tool and just like basically doing color test over and over again, is using the texture brush to kind of make really abstract textures really quickly, and then seeing how that looks. And I got a lot of time. Normally when I'm at the cactus phase, it's about 25 minutes, 26 minutes, and that's including the couple minute intro that I have. So I have a really long intro. I need to figure out how I can tone that down. But yeah, so we're looking pretty good. I think I'm just going to kind of play around here and just see what I can kind of come up with. You know, just play around with the texture, uh, color, the highlight aspect, and just kind of move around with it. Don't really worry about doing this right. This is going to be an experimental piece. Almost all of these are experimental, but some are a little bit more testy with others. Than others. Like I'll do a little bit more like adventurous stuff with some of them. Like this one's going to be really adventurous. There's going to be some things I'm going to be playing around with that I think might be kind of fun to kind of explore. But others are not so much. Others are pretty, they're pretty much kind of like what they are. Just a practice run, a practice study, and so forth. And I think you have to do some of these sometimes. You really have to do stuff like this. Like I'm not really comfortable doing this, but I'm not uncomfortable doing it. Because I can't be too upset if it doesn't turn out. I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, I should have really worked on this one and made it into something special. And you got to think about your drawing as your drawing career or whatever you're doing in life as like a marathon and not a sprint. Because at the end of the day, I could say, well, this one may not be as good, but I've done 100 of them, so. How many if we want to like do some self-reflection, not a lot of people have done 100 of anything. Like and that's not dogging anyone. That's not dogging anyone. I'm just saying like it's very hard to do things in perpetuity or in depth, right? And I don't feel bad. I'm like it's cool. That's fine. Everyone's got their own journey that they got to pursue, right? And this is something I set for myself. For some reason, I don't feel like it's even getting better. It's just kind of, this one's not really getting much better. It's kind of like just doing blah. Maybe if I play around with the greens, add a little bit more vivid greens in some of this, maybe some greens like a darker green in this one. If I put some more dark, oops. It feels like I'm drawing a cactus hand, really. And I don't know if that was my intention. Like it does feel like a cactus hand. Now maybe if I what if I were to make it feel like this is separated, and then like this splits off a little bit, like it's like not adjoined fully. What if I did something like that, and maybe did something like this on this side as well? So either way, we're making good time. I got like 4 minutes or more to kind of fill around with it. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a hard drop at like a hard stop around 30 minutes or a little bit after. So something like that might be in order. I might do like a brief. Yeah, so this something like this. I think it's kind of fun. Yeah, man. I got nothing to say today. I'm speechless at the moment. Really am speechless. I'm just kind of playing around here. Just kind of hoping that I can get something of substance kind of working. So this is kind of, I'm gonna try doing something like this, see what happens. Just do a little bit of like high high saturation lines. See how I like that. I may or may not. But this is gonna be, as I said, like this is gonna be one of those ones where I can do a little bit more experimentation with and really kind of have fun with it. Um, Other times I might be a little bit play a little bit more on the safe side, and that's fine as well. And each one has its own like qualities that are desirable. Some not are not as desirable as others, and other ones have better like drawing qualities than others, and other ones have a little more like intriguing visuals than others. And even though it's just a cactus, right? They have it. There's still something to each one that is really interesting for each one, right? They all have their own little things that make them kind of nice, kind of intriguing to look at, you know. And I think that might be it for this. Play it around a little bit right here. And then I'm going to add another layer, but I'm going to add a little bit of like a highlights, some sort of like tealish highlights around on some of this areas. Just a little bit like that. Something like right here. Maybe even go a little bit more rich with them because they're not that powerful. I think maybe a little bit something that shows a little bit more like richness, exaggerates that reflective light a little bit on purpose to really kind of separate it. Maybe do a little bit like right here, a little, just for fun. Each one's kind of its own fun thing, right? So there we go. I think that's it. That's 20. It's been 30 minutes now. We're gonna add another layer and do the thorns, and then we're gonna put our signature on it and call it a day. So that's what I do. That's the whole entire process. Gonna get a sample of green, and we're just gonna go down to 10 pixels, which is my standard go-to for the size for the thorns, and just kind of go down and draw thorns. I think I'm gonna do like these longer thorns that are like in pairs. So this is gonna be a little bit something I need to do differently. Is I'm making these like longer paired thorns, just for fun. So each one's different, Each one has its own personality. I play around them, and I'm okay with. You got to look at each drawing as like there's a level of failure in each one, right? You didn't get it the way that you wanted it, right? And maybe other artists are able to do that. They're able to like, this is how I wanted it, and I'm like, well, you're lucky then. That's never going to happen for me. I'm always going to be like, what if, you know? And so this is where the volume comes into play. What if I do this? What if I do that? I don't like those thorns. Let me do something like this. So this one's a little different. It doesn't even feel like it's a cactus, but it's okay. Maybe I'll be a little bit more traditional tomorrow when I do my next live stream. Maybe I'll go more simplistic. It all depends on the availability of my time availability and how I'm feeling. As of lately, I've been trying to knock these out in under 40 minutes. And the only reason why they're 40 minutes is because the thorns actually take almost as long. Oh man, I got a little tingly hands. I got some tingly hands. Anyone get that? And here we go. Almost done. You know what? We'll leave them there. Okay, that is it, and that's my cactus. A little bit more experimental, a little bit abstract, but I gotta admit, there's some fun to it. It's got something to it, and maybe in the future this is something I'll do. Maybe I'll do more like this in the future. Right? Maybe maybe there's something to that. So we're gonna go down here in not pixel P20 P21 148. Yep, gotta check my calendar each time because I'm always forgetting now. 148 out of 200 out of 200, and bam, that is it. 1 second. And I am done today. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. And if you enjoyed watching me draw and you enjoyed my commentary, enjoyed some my thoughts, awesome. Please subscribe for more content / daily live streams. And don't forget, when you subscribe, you also get the opportunity to be one of the first to know when I have my next art giveaway. I am going to be planning on setting it up probably next week, so I have a little bit of free time. I'm going to be on vacay, so I'll have some free time to set up my next art giveaway. And when I have it set up, you'll be one of the first to know. Whoever follows my live streams and follows my social media platforms, those are the places where I inform everyone when I'm having art giveaway. And that's the best and quickest way to find out when I have my next art giveaway. My goal is to do 12 this year. I've done 2. Maybe I've done 3. I don't know. I got to look at my. I think I've done. No, I've done. No, I've done 2. I think I've done 2. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. Thank you so much for watching my live stream and taking a little bit of time of your day to experience watching me draw a weird cactus. It's very much appreciated. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Pierson. Sorry. Did I say that? Pierson out.